As big fans of the MCU and of course video games, we wanted to round up the upcoming Marvel games that you definitely need to know about. Make sure to drop a like down below and subscribe to the channel if you want to show us support, and put in the comments if you've ever bought a Marvel comic, and if you have, which one was it and which is your favourite. Personally, I'm loving the Edge of Spider-Verse comics myself. We'll start off this list with Marvel Snap, which is a collectible 1 vs 1 multiplayer card game with a focus on a fast turnaround time for the matches, with roughly a 3-minute match time per game. The game is currently set to release on both PC and mobile and will be free to play, and has no current release date. There's a whole bunch of different Marvel characters and villains for you to build your deck out of, and with the focus of the game being on fast-paced matches, the deck building itself is also set to be easy, as you only need to pick around 12 unique cards to build your deck. This means deck building and playing matches should be a relatively fast and flowing experience, so you don't have to get bogged down too much in all of the match prep as well as getting locked into long games. It's very much a quick focus card game, which is quite nice to see, as some card games do lock you into playing for quite a while. There's currently an Android closed beta that you can already sign up for, while iOS users will have to wait for some more news until something becomes available for them. In a Marvel Snap blog post, the development team explained that they'll need your insights, notes, thoughts, and bug-catching brilliance to really get the most out of this crucial development phase while the beta is available. When playing the game, you can choose from different locations in the Marvel universe to have your match on, and each area has different abilities. From Asgard to Wakanda, there are new locations that are introduced weekly, and there's also set to be daily, weekly, and monthly updates for the game. I've played a lot of card games, from Magic the Gathering to Pokemon to Yu-Gi-Oh to even the old World of Warcraft card game, and it is interesting to see one like this that focuses more on quick gameplay, kind of similar to Hearthstone but even faster, so it'll be really interesting to see how this one pans out. Next up is Marvel's Midnight Suns, which is a single-player tactical role-playing game being developed by Firaxis Games in collaboration with Marvel Games, and it is set to release on Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Xbox Series S and X, as well as Microsoft Windows. It's currently set to release on the 7th of October 2022 this year. Within the game, Lilith, the mother of demons, has been revived by Hydra through a twist of dark magic and science, and the Avengers enlist the help of the Midnight Suns, where they resurrect the Hunter, who will be the player character, that is Lilith's forsaken child and the only hero known to have ever defeated her. You as the player will be creating your own superhero known as the Hunter, and you get a choice of over 40 different powers to pick. The game itself will have over 13 different heroes, and combat will be turn-based, kind of similar to how the XCOM series plays. This means that there's probably a big focus on positioning and using tactics between the different team that you have. You'll probably have to synergize your abilities in order to not get destroyed, as we know that those XCOM style games can be quite unforgiving. Between combat missions, you can manage an upgradable base of operations that's called the Abbey, and you can also explore it in third person. At the start of a mission, you can choose to take up to 3 heroes with you, and the characters you pick will influence the gameplay and abilities of each other. Unlike XCOM games, however, there is not a grid system that you move in, but rather it features full 3D movement, kind of similar to how it works in the Divinity series. If you're into your more turn-based, tactics-focused games, this might be one for you, as it does put a little twist on the usual things you see in this genre, and I'm quite intrigued in this one myself as a big XCOM fan for how the different characters will interact with each other and how much depth it has in the tactics element of the game. Next up is Marvel's Spider-Man 2, which is of course a sequel to the original Marvel Spider-Man that was made for the PS4 and PS5 back in 2018. It's being developed by Insomniac Games for the PlayStation 5 console, and is set to launch in 2023 with no further information, but it's possible we will have more details later this year if we get lucky. Players can potentially play as both Peter Parker and Miles Morales throughout the story, as it does feature both of these characters within the teaser trailer, and as a big Spider-Man fan for both Miles and Peter, I'm extremely excited to see this and how it will interact and how it will play out gameplay wise, switching between these two characters if this does happen within the game, which it kind of looks like it does from the trailers, but again we'll have to wait and see. I'm super excited if this is an actual feature of the game. Within the teaser trailer as well, we also got to see Venom right at the end as a potential villain, as during the trailer he was shown facing both Peter and Miles at the very end. The Spider-Man logo is also shown on a black backdrop, which could be a reference to the black symbiote Spider-Man suit from the comics, which is one of the most cool suits that Spider-Man has in my opinion. On a side note, the Marvel Superheroes Secret Wars number 8 issue, which is a key issue that features the origin of the black symbiote costume, is not only a fantastic cover but also can fetch a decent price if you have one. Insomniac has drafted in actor Tony Todd to voice Venom, Venom, giving it a really classic feel that may remind you of Venom from the cartoons. It's also speculated that Kraven the Hunter, a fan favourite, may have an appearance, as a voice in the trailer sounds quite similar to Kraven's. We don't currently know whether or not Spider-Man 2 will feature co-op, but we are betting on both Miles and Peter being playable, so it's always possible that this could be a thing. But that is speculation, so take that with a pinch of salt. Next up is a very exciting one. It's Marvel's Wolverine, and currently there is no release date and there is fairly limited information available for the game out there, as it is in very early stages of development right now. It's being developed by Insomniac Games and is set for the PlayStation 5 console, quite similar to Spider-Man 2. With Spider-Man 2 being set for 2013 release, Wolverine obviously being further behind in development, we can expect maybe 2025 or 2024 at the earliest before this game is likely to come out. Within the reveal trailer, however, if you look closely, you'll be able to find some Easter eggs, such as one that references Wolverine's first appearance in The Incredible Hulk issue number 181. This could suggest that Hulk may play a role in the game, but we'll have to wait and see to find out more. Considering that Insomniac didn't cover Spider-Man's origin story in the 2018 Marvel Spider-Man, it could be possible that they are not going to go over Wolverine's origin within this game, and instead it could take place later on into his career as an X-Men, rather than repeating his origin story that we've already seen quite a lot already. Another Easter egg within the trailer includes an eye patch laying on the bar. This is a reference to Wolverine's eye patch alias that comes out when Logan flees to Madripoor after the X-Men are presumed dead. Furthermore, it will be incredibly interesting to see how they handle mechanically Wolverine's regeneration ability, which is obviously an incredibly strong superpower that he has, and that combined with his adamantium skeleton makes him almost unkillable in a lot of different situations. So, in terms of the gameplay of the game, it'll be very interesting to see how they implement his self-healing, considering that he is super powerful and has a near indestructible skeleton and can regenerate incredibly fast. And next up, let's talk about an untitled Marvel game that's being developed. The former creative director of Naughty Dog, who now currently leads Skydance New Media, will be working on a new Marvel video game. The studio currently hasn't set a release date and hasn't said which platforms the game will be releasing on. However, information is limited, but we do know that it's meant to be a narrative-driven blockbuster action-adventure game that is, of course, being done by Skydance New Media. And they have Amy Hennig on the team, who was a writer and the creative director for the first 3 Uncharted games, so hopefully this new Marvel game that's in development will blend together the action and heart for a compelling experience that we've come to expect from the Uncharted games going forwards. There's no more information out there that we know of, so it's really interesting to see where this new Untitled Marvel game could go, what characters it will feature, what the story will be about, where in the universe it will take place. A lot of unanswered questions here that I'm very interested in finding out more as soon as they drop the information, so make sure you're subscribed down below if you want to know more about this going forward into the future. And next up is a future Marvel game that we'll probably never get to play as it's been cancelled. This Marvel IP massively multiplayer online game was revealed in an EG7 investor presentation back in late 2021. The company said at the time that the new game was a long-term project and they didn't expect to reveal any more about it until 2023 at the soonest. This new Marvel MMO, which was in development by Daybreak Game Company, was cancelled by their parent company, and it was announced that instead of pouring a truckload of money into making this Marvel MMO happen, it was going to spread the money out across a bunch of smaller projects, including updates to the existing MMOs Lord of the Rings Online and the DC Universe Online games. It seems that even with Marvel's popularity, it's proving difficult to create a popular Marvel Universe massively multiplayer game that can keep an audience. Marvel's Avengers was unfortunately a great example of this, and I really do hope that something like this, the Marvel MMO, could happen similar to DC Universe Online, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen anytime soon unless someone else picks up the mantle and starts making it. What do you think about this? Let us know in the comments down below, as well as which game you're most excited for, and of course do drop a like and subscribe if you want to support us and the channel. We really do appreciate it, and the videos on screen now we think will be perfect for you if you enjoyed this one, so make sure to click them, check them out, let us know in the comments what you think of them, as we really hope you do enjoy them.